Okay guys, how's everybody doing? Alright, I've done a few things since the last video. I put this top cap on the walls. So this cap right here, I put this on all the way around. I built the little floor there. We're going to put a pitcher pump on there. A pitcher pump is just a pump that, it's a hand pump. When I do that, we'll show you what that is, and we'll be able to draw water out of there. Now, a few of the comments have asked me if I'm going to fill up the well. Okay, that's not how wells work. The water in the well is just natural water in the ground. If you go pretty much anywhere, you dig down far enough, you're going to find water. So that's what they did here. They dug down. When they built the house in, 1900 whatever, they put the house in. They dug a hole down here till they hit water. Then they dug further so that the hole would have water in it. There's about 42 inches of water in that hole. I measured it up. So there's a lot of water in there. That water was used for the house. When the main house was put here, it's just a crawl space under there. Then they put that little addition on right there. There's a dug basement under there. It's 5 feet tall. It's where my furnace and hot water heater is. It's about all it fits down, but it's always wet under there. The water table is high here. The water table is how far below the ground the water is. It's so high here that when I put that addition on where the clock is 15 years ago or so, I expected to dig down 8 feet and put a full foundation in. We dug 5 feet and hit ledge. Ledge is just solid rock under the ground. So we had to modify how we did it, but we figured it out. So here, the water table is real high because it runs on top of that ledge. It rains, it gets down into the ground, but it hits that solid rock and runs along the top of it, which is why I always have water in this basement right here. I have a sump pump that runs year-round pretty much. So in a well, you don't fill a well up. I'm not going to take my hose and put it over here and fill it up. It's just naturally occurring groundwater. When it rains and we have a lot of rain and it's real wet, there's more water inside the hole. When there's dry summers, the water level goes down. Sometimes it might dry up. We hope it doesn't, but sometimes it might. I don't have to worry about that right now because I have a different water supply. I'm on city water here, so I don't have to worry about this well. This well is just for fun. We're going to put a hand pump on it and pump some water out and see what it looks like. All right, next we're going to do some vinyl siding. All right, so time to do some vinyl siding. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to put corners on. I'll show you how to do that. The second thing is we're going to cut the siding. This is just a table I made up. Some of you guys from last year remember this vinyl siding cutting table that we used. Big metal thing, it turned. This is just an old I-joist, big wide I-joist I had taken off a job. I built this little frame in it. I put my saw so it fits my saw, and I can cut vinyl siding. Anytime you're cutting vinyl siding, take your saw, turn the blade around backwards the other way. That way friction cuts the siding, not the teeth themselves. Okay, if you try to do it the regular way, they'll chip out and you'll ruin your siding. So just do it this way. What I've done is these pieces are going to be 34.5. They should be the same all the way around. So I can cut a whole bunch up. So what I'm going to do is I measured my first piece, cut it a little bit, came over here and just marked it where 34.5 is. So now I'll just finish my cut. Loud and obnoxious, isn't it? I'll bring this over to 34.5. And I'll keep doing that and cut all the pieces that I need, okay? Okay, so I cut some pieces and now we're going to put them on. First thing I need to do, I've done the other 3 corners, but I saved this one to show you. This is just a corner. Looks like that, it's made out of vinyl. It goes on right here. We're going to put it tight to the top, okay, and nail it in. You just want to make sure it's nice and straight. You don't want it to be all crooked and stuff like that. So I'm going to straighten it up. Grab a nail. Grab a nail. vinyl itself. Go here, straighten that up, and nail it in. Same thing on the bottom, make sure it's nice and square. I'm just going to eyeball it. This was a bigger house and these were longer. You know, I might snap a line on here, make it nice and straight, but these I can eyeball and get them pretty straight. Anytime we're nailing trim pieces on vinyl, we're going to nail them tight. When we nail the siding itself, we're going to nail it loose. Okay? So I'm going to put this on. Rest of the nails. Okay. That's how we put a corner on. That's simple, okay? It's on, nice and tight, sits there. Next we have our pieces of siding, okay? This is called 4-inch double lap vinyl siding. Each of these is 4 inches. It's got a top nailing flange. You nail here. The next piece will go on, cover that, and snap in. So they'll snap in and they don't come apart unless you push them hard. Okay? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to nail it in. I'm going to measure down from the top here to the bottom to the top of this. Make that nice and straight. So when I get up here, I want this last piece that I cut to be a nice even cut all the way. I don't want to cut it from here to here. That'll look bad, okay? Even if it's off level a little bit, I'd rather it look level than it be level, if that makes sense. You can make things look level. I mean, with the old house that I have like that, nothing straight or square, so you know, you make things look level. We could do that just by, you know, the naked eye is never going to see this off even, you know, a half an inch or so. They're not even, you know, you're not going to notice that. But if you get up here and this is cut from, you know, 2 inches to 1 inch over here, you will definitely notice that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to nail these on, and when I get to the top, I'll show you how to finish it. Okay? Okay, so I got a couple pieces on. We nail on the siding itself. Okay, I'm going to put it inside the corner. It has like a channel in there. I'm going to bend it. I'm going to put it inside here, and there's movement there. That's what I want. This stuff expands and contracts with the heat. The sun hits it, it'll expand. In the cold, it'll shrink. So I'm going to snap it in, bring it down. I'll snap it in, and I'm just going to get it centered on there. You want about 1/4 of an inch from the inside of the corner, to the end of the thing, end of the piece. So I'm going to pull that up tight. Put a couple nails in it. Okay, then all I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some J channel. So this is J channel. It's called J channel because it looks like a J. And what that's going to do is, if I just cut a piece to fit here, you don't want to see that raw edge. All vinyl siding, all the edges go into some kind of a channel. So I'm just going to cut a piece here. To cut these pieces, we use regular tin snips. These are made for cutting metal, but they work great for vinyl. So I'm going to put this up there. I'm not even going to measure. I'm just going to eyeball. Cut that. Put it up tight. And put some nails in it. When we nail trim, we nail it tight. When we nail siding, we nail it loose. I want this siding to be able to move. So I can move that back and forth even though it's nailed. That way when it expands and contracts, it can move. And it won't buckle and bind up. Nail there, nail here. Now I just measure up under there. To here I have 5 3/4, 5 3/4. You want to leave that 1/4 of an inch. So all I'm going to do is take my piece, measure 5 3/4, put a line on it, and then cut it with the snips. So I'm going to cut that. Cut it with the snips. Put it in there. Snap it in. It didn't snap in right. There we go. Snapped in. And then I'm going to come back. I have some little white trim nails. I'll put some couple of little white nails in there. And that's one side done. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to do the rest. Then the siding will be done. And we'll just work on the pitcher pump. Okay? Excellent.